Kiran cost almost a lakh. Her eyes, deep brown and big, are probably what drew the price up. She was sold into prostitution when she was 10 by her own parents. Kiran, unfortunately, is just one among many.
The government estimates that approximately 200 girls enter into the sex trade every day, 90% of them against their will. Today, there are approximately 3 lakh to 5 lakh children who are sold into prostitution, and these are also government estimates. But even then, government estimates may contrast, NGO estimates may contrast, but still, it is, even if one girl or one child is sold, it's still one too many.
Some of the girls are bought for 60,000 to 80,000, beyond that. And till they pay that money, they have to be in that brothel and give their entire body and life. And some days they have to entertain more than 10 to 12 men, and they don't get any money out of it. The brothel owner takes all the money, and they're left with nothing.
Once sold girls like Kiran usually never get out. Their owners keep them imprisoned in brothels through psychological manipulation and physical violence.
They've gone through extreme torture. Some of them have been burnt, some of them cigarette butts have been burnt on their bodies, and they suffer extreme torture to come to this state of accepting, okay, I don't have any other go.
I remember one girl also mentioned that she felt so defiled, and she said, I am already dirty, so what's the point of me coming out into the society which anyways will not accept me?
They need to be rescued.
But why would a parent sell their own child to such a horrible fate? One common reason is extreme poverty.
In our society, the level of poverty and the economic constraints on families does push them to sell their own daughters into flesh industry.
Some see it as an easy way out of debt. Others simply do not know what they're selling their daughters into.
There is illiteracy and ignorance in villages and towns. People are not aware. They're quite trusting. And so when someone comes up with a good offer, they would think, okay, this is something better for my child. But then realize that it's actually not the best. It's the worst possible option that they could ever do.
There are many, however, unburdened by poverty or debt, who sell their daughters anyways.
Many of them have maybe 2-3 children, and they would sell one of their daughter for a big price. And not because of poverty, because of greed, because of they want quick money all of a sudden, and they decide, okay, I can sell my daughter and make quick money out of it.
Some parents don't seem to have any love for their kids. They seem to think, children are just one added burden and one among the many that they have. It's okay to sell them.
Long-held myths and traditions complicate matters further.
For example, there are communities in India that think that, okay, one child has to be sold into prostitution because that is something that has been continued in their social customs or in their religious beliefs. And there are also myths that pervade our Indian community, where if a person who's HIV positive has sex with a virgin, it does mean that he would be cured of any other diseases that he may have. So that also, there's a demand and also there's a supply.
Such attitudes, however, are only symptoms to a much deeper problem. A problem that all of us as a society are party to. We simply don't value the girl child.
There's a saying in our society that raising a girl child is like watering a neighbor's plant.
They're never treated as human beings, they're treated as commodities.
They're just not wanted.
The picture is grim, and there's one person more concerned about this than anyone else.
God's heartbeat is for those who are in sexual slavery. I believe that Jesus would be out on the streets, meeting people, giving them hope, offering them a better life, offering them something different from a life of exploitation.
Restoring a victim of sexual slavery to fullness, some have realized, involves leading them to Christ and letting Him deal with their inner wounds.
It breaks their entire being completely, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. They're broken inside. We believe Jesus is the hope for them, because once they accept Jesus Christ, a major part of their life also transforms into something else.
When people stand up and when their hearts are moved by what moves God's heart, things do change. Just ask Kiran. After spending years in slavery, she was rescued.
Kiran was sold at the age of 10 and lived a life of sexual slavery. She was trafficked from places like Bombay into Bihar, into Calcutta, Delhi, to different cities in India, and was finally rescued in a raid in Bombay.
But not everyone's story ends like Kiran's. And God expects us to do something about it.
There are many, many young girls in this nation who are in slavery, longing to have a life of freedom.
God has told us that each one is created as valuable and is created in His own image, and that it is our responsibility to stand up and do something about it.
The girl child is a beautiful thing. She should be cared and nurtured for, because she's a gift of God.
We have a dream that one day there would be an India where no child is trafficked or sold into sexual slavery. An India where each young woman, each young child can live in freedom and dignity and